What up, y'all? Good morning, good morning. Let y'all tap in. Good morning, good day. Like Wiz Khalifa say, cushion orange juice. Start the morning. Weekend almost here. As y'all come in, hit the like button, hit the subscription.
You'll set the notification.
Nice day in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that nigga. That nigga's a fucking turd. Y'all see the caption? Your talent can either be inspiring or intimidating. I don't got no take on the band by the stuff. I would love to be in Harlem right now. What I've learned of being in the music business, well, the entertainment business, is that your talent can either be intimidating or inspiring. If you're inspiring to a person, that's the best. That's the best thing you can get from a person is inspiration. You can get inspiration from a kid. You can get inspiration from a homeless person. You can get inspiration from anything, and depending on how your mind take the inspiration. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned talented people, you can only be either intimidating or inspiring. Because a nigga that you think is your friend or think is gonna be in there your corner to help you, he'll block you. And why they do that is because they be afraid. People be afraid that you're gonna pass them. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta think, if everybody thought like that, we wouldn't have got some of the greats. Cause for others to be great, somebody had to put them in a position, you know what I'm saying, or help them get in that position. And if everybody was afraid of the next man's talent, it wouldn't be no talent, period, because everybody would just be blocking each other. Just to think, what if Lil Wayne wouldn't have fully endorsed Drake's career? We would have never had a Drake. You know what I'm saying? Wayne wasn't afraid of people passing him or something, because if I sign an artist today, he go platinum in a month, 2 months. We both look like geniuses. He looked like genius for doing the work, and I look like a genius for putting them on. That's how you create bosses. People don't understand that. You're never going to be a boss if you don't put nobody on. You're never going to be no boss if you ain't putting nobody in a position to win. They said that's how Meek be giving it up. I don't know. Good morning. Good morning. This is why I tell artists, if you're an artist, never sign to an artist. Because the artist that you're signed to, he's always going to be the biggest priority on the label because he's still an artist. Now, if he was a former artist and he's trying to put you in a position to wait, fine, but you can't win with a motherfucker that still want to do what you do. Yeah, it's very hard. You know? And at the end of the day, people are only going to support what they want to support anyway. I'm constantly speaking facts. Yeah, that's a fact. That's why I come to my platform to be informative and help artists out. Make sure they don't make the mistakes I made. You know what I'm saying? I made a lot of mistakes in the music business. I made a lot of mistakes, period. But from my experiences in the music business, I can definitely tell you about that. Good Thursday morning. We're in the chat, talk to me, let's talk. I've made up my mind since I have my own platform. I'm not doing interviews no more. These guys that interview you, they not really experienced. Most of these motherfuckers is messy as hell, just trying to get some controversial shit going. So for clickbait, they don't really care about the context of your conversation or what you're telling them. And they would discredit you. A motherfucker will bring you on their platform to discredit you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to question my integrity of my interview, why have me on your show? You know what I'm saying? Why have me on your platform if you're going to question the integrity of my interview? I'm not going to get up there and tell no fucking lies. Only a fool would get on a platform and tell lies when everything can be fact checked. I'm never going to put myself in a situation to where I look like a fucking liar. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I want to have this conversation.
Yeah, man. These podcast niggas is funny style. Some interviews people be putting in a trick bag. Yeah, they try to trick you. They'll bait you the way they ask the question. They'll say something that you know is gonna get a negative reaction, then ask you a question. You know what I'm saying? So your temperament can be the fuel of the question they ask you in the conversation. You know, like I said, shout out to my brother Fred Money. Shout out to Danza. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people asking me how I felt about the last bit of the Joel Santana interview. I don't feel no way about it. I don't feel no way about it. Because at the end of the day, people are going to be people. And nobody, like nowadays, people be even afraid to give you their props. Yo, letting a person know you did something takes nothing away from me. Like my little cousin, shout out to Davo. He creates a lot of the images for my merch, and I let people know that. It takes away from me giving another man his props. It don't take nothing away from me. And that be a problem, man. We don't like to see each other in good positions unless we can control them. And that's what's fucked up about the industry, period. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was just to make it seem like what you did was nothing. Only thing I ain't like is like when Danza asked him the question about the Chris Brown situation, right? He tried to downplay it like, yo, people come up here and tell these stories and they be good stories, but then you gotta ask yourself, is it true? I'm not gonna come and sit there for 2 hours and sit down and have a conversation with you and tell you a bunch of lies or to make myself look good. I'm gonna tell you what the fuck happened. But nowadays in this space, in this media space, you gotta be politically correct. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be politically correct. But I don't think I'm gonna be doing no more platforms and shit. They mix up your words. They try to flip and bounce. They try to downgrade your accolades. All that. Like, I'm not gonna come up there and tell you a story if it's not true. That's just not my style. I've been around so much. I've been around too much stuff in life to sit here and tell fables. For real. Niggas don't got no time for that. But overall, the interview was insightful. You know what I'm saying? And I learn shit every day. That's why it's never a loss. That's why it's never a loss. But that's the only thing I really had a problem with the interview. It was the way the question was asked. It was like, I can't help that my life was dope. Good camera quality. I appreciate that. But being talented can be a gift and a curse. You want to put on one of the mics? Talk?
You're invited. You invited me on. So let's go under here.
Yeah. Turn the mic on.
Got a big audience this morning?
Not that big. It's,
it's
a few people in here. Yeah, it's like 50 people in here, 47 people. 49
you can hear me
people.
on here? You can see that.
So, hey, what you think about
can you hear me clear? Can the people hear me clear? Okay.
What you think about talent, being talented can be inspiring or intimidating?
Well, first of all, good morning. And thanks for having me, my brother. I'm Aaron Blackshear. How y'all doing out there? Just to, introduce myself. I like to be formally introduced. I don't like just, talking, because I like to be accountable for my statements, and accountable for what I speak about,
Yeah.
Also the host of Dad Talk Podcast Harlem. Y'all go check that out, all right?
Yeah, go check them
Dad
out.
Talk Podcast Harlem. So
Somebody said, what's good, eh?
what's good? What's going on, y'all? So talent being intimidating or inspiring. So we living in a world of yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
So there's always two sides of every coin on everything in life, So in terms of like the talent, I'm gonna keep it on the subject. I don't want to go too far, but it's,
Have you ever
talent. Wait, hold on. Let me just get into it real quick.
No, let me just ask you this. Have you ever felt like your talent was intimidating or inspiring to a person?
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. So I was gonna get to so I'm gonna get right to it, right? So your talent is not intimidating until it gets you to a level of intimidation. You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So if you're in the neighborhood and everybody know you locally and they feel like your talent is not really getting you anywhere,
Uh-huh.
then it could be inspiring that you do it because you're talented, but it's not intimidating because they like, yo, he nice, but he not doing nothing with that shit.
Yeah.
He can act, but he ain't on TV. She could sing, but she don't have nothing out. Or nigga, you could be a nigga that ride a unicycle and juggle, but you ain't with the Big Apple Circus. You feel what I'm saying?
So long as
So as long as it's on a certain level where it's not intimidation, it's inspiring, yeah. But so when you start climbing up the ladder with the reality and people start really seeing that that your talent is really getting you somewhere, then it becomes intimidating. Because we all live, we still crabs in the barrel out here. We've all had some experiences, but we've all had some experiences, but we're still in the environment where that shit is still prevalent here. Like, where people, are worried about, oh, this one got more than this one, that one got more, this one got more, shit like that. So when you have a way out and people are aware of your talent and they're aware that you do have a way out,
that you going places, yeah,
then that's when it gets intimidating. Not in the sense of like personally like, oh, he gonna leave me, but like too many people don't get out of this shit off their talent, off of just raw talent. You get what I'm saying? So yes, it's a yin and yang. You gonna get both sides of that coin, because like they say, if you're not being successful, if you don't have people that hate you or intimidated or they feel some kind of way about your success, then you're not doing something right.
Yeah.
Because, the world is based on what you're doing and how you're doing it. A lot of people base their mentality on that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's, for your first question. So, you're going to always have that. You get what I'm saying? You're going to always have that. That's just the natural order of things. You're going to always have jealousy. You're going to always have envy. The world would not be what it is if you didn't have 50% of it evil, or people that's intimidated and living off fears and all of that, and then people that's not going through the world won't be what it is. If you had people that was all good and weren't conniving or betrayal, like it wouldn't be a reason for words. It would be no reason for words to be like that in the vocabulary.
Yeah, because there's no balance.
It has to exist. Even like that side of things has to exist.
Yeah, to know what good is.
Yeah. Or to be able to rate your level of success based on how people treating you now.
Yeah.
Or being able to like use that as a scale. Like, damn, people treating me this way because I'm doing this. Like they was fine before I was doing that. Or they was fine with me when I didn't have this car, when I got 2 cars, or when I got a house, or when I got a deal with this person, or I was on this record. Like, envy is there. It's there for the balance.
Do you think that's why a lot of most successful people isolate themselves?
Like Mano say, 100%. You know what I mean? 100%. Because you know what? You know what it is? When you know that, you know, things are getting good for yourself and you know, like, you know, you have a little bit more, like sometimes when you know that envy is out there because you know, you elevating a little bit, you start to get a little paranoid. You know, it's like a natural paranoia, like, damn, you know what you got in the bank, right? Or you know what deal you're about to get right, but everybody else don't know, but it still puts you in a kind of like, yo, let me be more conscious of where I'm at. Let me be more conscious of who I'm around, because the things that I got going on, I don't want to have none of this outside external negativity influence fuck what I got going up.
Yeah.
It's like me sitting here, right? I got a show later on, but I'm sitting next to my man and he doing whatever, and I'm just making myself vulnerable to anything.
Yeah.
When I got some important shit to do at 7 o'clock, I need to be isolated so
I can take
I
care of what I gotta
don't,
take care
and
of.
I don't, nothing out external fuck with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you isolate yourself for a lot of different reasons, cause money, cause of, you know, people start envying, you know you can't operate on a frequency being around this kind of energy. You get what I'm saying? Like you saying yesterday, being around like minds, like energy, it makes you optimize and operate on a higher level. Like, okay, this is what we on. I feel good. It's positivity. It's keeping me up. Even if I feel down, it's always keeping the faith and having hope. Like, yo, if I wake up, we always could go record or some shit like that and be able to make a like, anything's possible long as you're alive, bro.
Yeah.
My bad.
Well, it comes to a point where a lot of people don't even understand, like, the pressures of being a celebrity. Cause I tell you, once you give up your freedom and you become a celebrity, nothing's the same when you was a regular person. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that energy up to what people perceive you as, because it's all a persona, really. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And you know, I've spoken to a lot of people that said that, yo, they met their idols and they wasn't what they seen, you know, what they thought they would be when they met them or something like that. That's why I don't try to put too much emphasis on celebrities. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might respect their talent. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was asking the other day, I was just asking them the other day, I was asking y'all, yo, you ever been starstruck? You ever seen somebody that you seen on TV and really been like, appalled? Like,
and I don't know why niggas was fronting, because, you know, like, not saying, like, I mean, I'm not, like, that's nothing to be starstruck. Like I was telling them, and it's crazy because I got the algorithm of LL talking about AZ and them. Shout out to AZ.
Yeah.
The big brother. But you seen the algorithm.
Yeah.
But it was just yesterday that you asked us that, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I was starstruck when AZ brought LL Cool J to the hood. He had on the red Kango, he had the troop suit on. And I was a little kid, and G, Grand Shaka, rest in peace to Grand Shaka, was writing my rhymes at a young age. And I spit one of the rhymes to LL.
That's fire.
But we was starstruck because he was on our block. We didn't think it was impossible, because we like, yo, with A and these niggas, anything is possible. Shaka Khan used to come to our block. Our brother Garrard Digger, his uncle was Billy Thompson from the Lakers.
Wow.
So Billy Thompson used to come to the block, and we used to be looking like, damn, that's an NBA player on our block. Wow. So how can you not be starstruck at 10, 11 years old, bro? So a nigga saying that, and he young, or maybe he didn't see a celebrity at that age. But my nigga, we was from Harlem. Celebrities came to our building all the time. And our building was the coke spot. Shaka Khan, everybody. So Digga uncle was Billy Thompson. He used to pull up. I remember he pulled up in the Corvette, the LA Corvette edition, LA Laker edition Corvette, my nigga.
Wow, it was purple?
Purple and yellow, my nigga, custom made, bro. He don't even remember this. His mother probably don't even remember this. He had this shit double parked, my nigga, like he wanted to come front on the block or something.
So let me ask you this, Poozo.
I was starstruck, bro.
From that era, right? We gonna switch gears a little bit, because you came up around the AZs, the Rich Porters, the Doo-Wop, the Gangsta Lou's, and this, right?
I'm sorry we so loud. I'm sorry, sis.
When you
Yeah, you know, but not you, not this way, but it's just my voice. But anyway, sorry about that.
What's the illest car you seen AZ in coming up as a youngster?
Well, I mean, it was a lot of ill cars, bro. It was a lot of ill
One
cars.
that you can remember.
But the best one was the I think it was the two-door coupe Benz. It was a 300 SEL or some shit like that. It was two-door low. I think it was like I don't know, I forgot the year. It was like a 1990 something. But the round one, two-door, I think it was sky blue, but it looked candy painted. It looked candy painted. It was like a sky blue, ice blue. And he had the chrome hammers, like the hammers, the Mercedes-Benz hammers. But they was AMG, they was chrome though. Sky blue, that was the best joint. That was one of the illest ones. That was the illest ones till the Porsches came and all of that. You know, because the Porsches was like, you know.
So a person that was born and raised in Harlem, right? The days of yesteryear. What's the difference between then and now? Let's say early 90s to 2026. What's the difference of the
what?
The atmosphere in
the
Harlem?
Atmosphere of Harlem period? Well, the game has been dead for a while. Like the 90s, you know, the game and the coke selling and all that was pretty much still, you know, prevalent, like popping. Like you could go to Broadway in the 90s and motherfuckers still running you down to buy coke. You go up there now, it ain't none of that shit going on, bro. Like if you snap your fingers and go to the 90s and walk to Broadway right now, it's a fucking crazy house up there.
That's a fact.
You know, niggas is shooting in broad daylight. Like right now, some shit could pop off. You know, niggas is like, I used to hate that shit. Being from the neighborhood, these niggas don't know I live in the neighborhood and they trying to sell me coke like I'm an out-of-towner just because I'm black. I didn't like that shit about Dominicans on Broadway back in the days, bro. Like that shit used to really almost get us into fights over them niggas. Because, you know, we weren't people that stayed around drug dealing all the time. So if we walk and go on the rehearsals to act or some shit, and a nigga looking at me and I'm dressed and he think I'm a drug dealer by the way I look, yo fam, they was really like that was some real stigma shit. You feel what I'm saying? So between them and then and now, none of that shit is going on. You go to Broadway, niggas ain't talking to you about no drugs. They ain't saying shit to you about no drugs because I guess everybody's the feds now but they should have been thinking like that in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's a big difference, right?
Yeah,
that's a big difference, right?
Like
if
you can walk straight down Broadway and not
get stopped. Before every block.
You remember how 555 used to be like 30 Dominican guys on one guy trying to get him to buy coke, everybody bidding.
Yeah.
You used to think it was damn near a fight or something.
Nah,
and they just trying to sell you cocaine.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that used to be crazy, man. That caused a lot of controversy, that caused a lot of violence in the neighborhood. But you know, drugs gonna always cause violence and all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's the difference, like the game is slowed down, like it's still going on, but it's more under the wraps now. It's more like under the, you know what I mean? Niggas is more low key with it because we in 2026, you got all this technology, you got all these cameras, AI, You know what I mean? You can't you say the wrong thing on the phone. You know what I'm saying? And even like I don't even trust. It ain't no such thing as a burnout, nigga. All this shit is fucking connected. Yeah. If you connected to a satellite, anything is possible, bro.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Like the 90s, technology wasn't so high tech. You know, we wasn't big. You know, we ain't have the social media and shit like that either.
Niggas ain't even have phones.
You get what I'm saying, though? It wasn't all of this, you know, niggas fighting over the internet, then seeing each other in the street. Like, it's a big change. I don't know what land niggas is living in, but we in different times, like, totally, bro.
What are some elements from the street culture or Harlem culture, because we are the mecca of culture? What are some of the elements that you feel is gone now that you miss?
Well, so street culture or just culture in the neighborhood period?
Just culture in the neighborhood period. Something that
it's the culture is here. Like, so for a few years, like the past 5 years, the culture has felt like it's been a little watered down. But now I feel like Harlem is going through like it's evolving. Yes, it's going back to those older days, like when we were growing up. You know, the Harlem Weeks are getting stronger. You know, the presence of the guys selling things on the outside, that's getting stronger. Like, it's more that old Harlem feeling is kind of coming back depending on where you go. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like it's like evolving again. Like, the people that are here, and even people that are non-black or from other cultures, I think they still trying to keep Harlem and the mecca of the culture and like keep it strong here. Like, even people that's not of our race, you know, is still trying to, I think, not take away from Harlem, but add to Harlem. That's what we getting more of, that I'm seeing. People are more putting more into Harlem.
It's like you can't do it everywhere, but it's people that have they community advocates, to where they bringing the essence back of like block parties like they do by Melba's. I think that was dope because
that's what I'm saying. Shit like that.
Got kids from this culture that don't get to see that often. You're black, Hispanics, whites, all
taking up
together,
2 blocks.
Taking up 2 blocks.
And I used to bump into that shit inadvertently, like just hanging out. But if it's a nice day, bro, and you walk downtown how we used to take strolls and smoke and walk all the way to the east side and all that, you'll see that there's still culture spots, hot spots where shit is going on.
It's not as broad as it once was.
It's not as broad. But like you said, like that shit on 14th, like I used to just walk and be like, oh shit, where the fuck all these people coming from? Oh, this is a vibe. Yeah. But then I seen then they started doing the 12th Avenue stuff. So when you have stuff like that, that's like mimicking Grand's Tomb, mimicking a block party, like you can't do it on a wide scale everywhere because of the violence.
So bringing up Grand's Tomb,
so you get what I'm saying?
As a goer, because a lot of people in this era don't even know. Could you explain what Grand's Tomb is and what Grand's Tomb was to us growing up in Harlem?
So Grand's Tomb technically is like really a tomb where, I don't know the guy's name is, but he's supposed to be buried up there, some shit.
One of the presidents.
Right. Yo, what's good, man? You get what I'm saying? So I would Google it and all that right now, but you know, I'm not, anyway.
No, I'm just talking about.
But I know, but I just want people to know, because they got to know what Grand's Tomb actually is. To know, like, what the fuck is Grand's Tomb? It's a place, it's a tomb, like it says, and the guy's last name is Grand. I don't know his first name.
Ulysses Grant.
So y'all Google it or whatever y'all want to do, right? Yeah. But they used to have basically a mini festival over there, right? 90s, early 90s, shit like that.
Yeah.
That used to be, you know, full. Everybody used to come, good food, music, good iced tea, good fruit punch, fish and chips, a vibe near the water, near Riverside.
Yep.
You know, back in the days, all blocks used to come.
All the ballers from all 5 boroughs.
People used to come with their kids. You know, it was violent sometimes. It was violent sometimes.
All the latest cars. Niggas got the M3s. They got the Acura Legends.
Yeah, it definitely was a car show.
You know what I'm saying?
People used to come over there for that good fresh fried fish. They used to fry this fish and shit that niggas used to love coming.
You can come out and for the first 45 minutes or an hour you outside, you done spend about $100. Back in them days, you ain't have to spend too much money to enjoy yourself. You can actually walk the 125th and just stand outside and just vibe,
catch a vibe.
because it was, you know, that's when the streets was the streets. That's when, you know, you gotta realize, people don't understand. People be like, yo, why the streets so empty? People don't know. A lot of people are incarcerated. A lot of people passed away. A lot of people that moved to different states and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of people that migrated, so the culture's a little different.
And it's funny you said that too, because, you know, there's people here that's keeping the culture alive, but like you said, a lot of people have passed on that also a part of keeping the culture alive.
Yeah.
So when you missing those elements, people die off, or they move, or they say fuck the hood, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a piece of Harlem that was lost.
I remember when we was coming
or
up.
a piece of the culture.
I remember when we was coming up in the era of La Rock Bay at the African Day parades and the WBLS floats and you know what I'm saying? And
dance classes here, there.
You know what I'm saying?
Hip hop class.
Culture, the carnivals, the black rodeo.
All
you know
of that.
I'm saying? They used to have a black rodeo where you can ride the horses
on
and stuff like that.
145th and Lenox.
145th and Lenox. Exactly.
Yeah, like if you think about it, the black cowboys, they still here, but you don't see them.
You don't see them. Yep, they used to be right in the hood.
Back in the days, you'll see a black cowboy walking on 25th.
The first time I actually seen Alpo was on 125th. I mean, at the African Day Parade when they had all the dirt bikes.
All the motorcycles.
They had little kids on them shits. I was a little kid mesmerized because I was like, damn, they got dirt bikes in my size.
Yeah, that's what I tell people, man. I say, you know, when I speak of Poe, this was pre-Alpo, before he killing the rich and everything. Yeah. You know, because they were getting back to being starstruck. They were the fucking stars of the hood. Yeah. When they came, you know, when Poe, Rich, you know, even though they were family that used to be in my house and things like that, you know, looking for A, because A used to be in my house with my brother, you know, on the mic, you know, rapping and shit, fucking with the music. They used to come in there and look for him, you know, so they were like the first people that I really looked up to. Of course, we liked Michael Jackson and Prince and all that shit. We was in, you know, starstruck. But in Harlem, we was used to seeing famous people sometimes.
Yeah.
Seeing the Heavy D's or going to 25th.
I always tell people
you know,
that,
living in Harlem, we kind of see people coming through.
Like Bronx is the birth of hip hop, but Harlem is the mecca of the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is where the trends are
I don't care where you go in the world, bro. Or whatever, like when you get that new whip or whatever, you always want to come through Harlem.
Yeah.
Everybody get that car, whatever, they want to go up 8th, come down 8th, spin the block on niggas, playing some mean shit. Like, it's just.
That's always been a hustler's persona.
Yeah.
Summertime, joint straight out
Harlem,
the car wash.
Yeah, Harlem.
Ride up the 50,
no disrespect to no other state or nothing, but you don't hear nobody saying, oh, I was on a certain avenue I was on a certain avenue in Connecticut, or I was on a certain avenue in Brooklyn, or I mean, you may hear like Jamaica Avenue or some shit like that, but you never really heard a nigga saying, yo, I was coming through on, no disrespect to no borough or nothing, but like, you never hear niggas say, yo, I was coming through on Flatbush, I had the top down. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you hear niggas saying like, yo, I was
coming through Harlem.
I was coming through Harlem or whatever.
On 25th.
Yeah, I was coming through 25th or something.
Down 7th, down 8th. Yeah, 12th Avenue under the bridge.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? I was over there coming up the West Side Highway. Like, what you doing over here? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Because it's an essence up here.
Niggas don't even play That's My Car no more. Nah, niggas don't understand that. I remember looking out my window with my cousin and be like, yo, that's my car. That's what nowadays in the summertime, you can go to parks and they be empty. If it's not somebody that's throwing a tournament in that hood, the parks be empty. The kids forgot about the fundamentals of growing up. Like,
nah, but not to cut you off, but you know what it is, it's where it's where the violence has shifted.
Yeah.
So sometimes people be scared to have their kids outside.
Yeah.
First thing they say, yo, you won't go to that park, it's dangerous or whatever. Not all parents, but that fear factor is what got the parks empty and shit.
And a lot of people be debating and arguing, be like, yo, back in the days was worse. It was never like this. It was to a fact, it was violent and shit was going on, but
But I ain't gonna lie though, you don't really hear a lot of violence in parks though.
nah, you don't. What I'm saying is now the reason why we can't utilize the parks.
It's because of shit that happened in the past.
Because of the violence now. You know what I'm saying? Because of the violence now, we can't do the things or even show the kids the culture that we came up off. When the last time you've been to a park jam, you know what I'm saying? Where you just got a bunch of speakers out and niggas just having fun from daybreak to to the sunset.
People would rather come to something on a block than in a park.
Yeah.
Like some niggas love the block. It is an essence on the block. They right where they need to be. It's a comfortability. But if I gotta go somewhere and then go in a park, now I feel like my freedom is limited. Cops could come in on me. It's kind of like an outside jail, because if you in a park, a cop could come in and say whatever to you, type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
But that's
it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like niggas be like, we ain't fucking with that park because police gonna fuck with us.
But for the most part, like I've never for living in New York all my life.
Hello.
I rarely went through that. Like if niggas was doing some dumb shit in the park, yeah, they was gonna come. But for the most part, niggas in the park having a good time. Ain't no police bothering you.
Yeah, you're right. It depends on the age group and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Like I can't speak for the partaking of what's going on today, but I can speak from my era, and it was much more love. It was much more vibrant. You know what I'm saying? People cared about the neighborhoods. You don't got the even the local hustling guy that, make his money in the hood. They don't even throw bus rides no more. You know what I'm saying? The era of the bus ride is gone. You know what I'm saying? When the last time you seen somebody throw the bus ride, take the kids to Ride Playland or Great Adventures and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's not going on, but that used to be a thing in the summer. Like blocks used to connect and be like, yo, let's throw the bus ride for the kids. You might have 10 buses going out the Great Adventures packed up with inner city kids. You don't see that no more. And it ain't like people don't got the money, because niggas got the money, but it's just like, I guess that's not what people are,
I hear what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we just in a park vibe.
That's just the reality of it.
Yeah. This house was much more vibrant back then, though.
Yeah, but you just gotta look at, everything has to change. Nothing stays the same.
But nah, you gotta evolve. But when something started,
This was one of your pictures.
when something started evolving,
Yeah, things gotta change, man. I wouldn't want nothing to stay the same.
nah, definitely.
Only if I could keep my family here forever type shit.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would want to stay the same.
But it'd be like, I feel certain things should be traditional. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things, like people celebrate these pagan holidays and shit that don't really mean nothing. All it is to run the economy up. You know what I'm saying? Every quarter, with the Christmas and the New Year's and the Thanksgivings and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And we don't keep the traditions of our culture going. You know what I'm saying? We let them die out and make excuses for it. You know what I'm saying? When we can still, just connect with the right people and get the permits and to do certain things. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. in the chat.
Yeah. God bless everybody, bro.
Let me know in the chat where y'all from.
Wasn't disturbing the peace. Wasn't disturbing you, right? Right? Wasn't disturbing you, right? I gotta go get my blood.
Yeah, man. We just chopping it up in the park. A little different vibe today. Thank y'all for everybody that tuned in. Hit y'all a little later. Peace.